Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures, back with you today to do Roxy's Weekly Challenge Week 2, when she makes a little pocket with what she's calling a reinforced or layered flower. Can't remember what she calls it now, but I will put that in the title of the video. So it's working with some book pages. I'm using the same pages as I used for the last one, just because these are quite nice, thick pages and are quite good, good quality to use for making a pocket. So I've just torn myself out 3 pages. There's no way I'm going to make more than 3, much as I'd like to, but it's just not possible in the time because they need decorating, and as you know, that always takes me a while. I've got a few things around me to use. Hopefully they'll be sufficient. So let's make a start. And I don't think it matters which way round this is. Might just turn it around that way. I'm going to do the same as Rachel did, in that I'm going to turn up the bottom of each page for the pocket, so that the top of the pocket is a bit reinforced. I mean, these are quite strong pages, as I've mentioned, but I don't think it's ever a bad idea to reinforce the top of your pockets, because that's where all the action is. So they're what come under most pressure. So I'm just turning those up. I'm giving them quite a good turn up because these are quite tall pages, and I don't want my pockets to be enormous. No, it's not very straight. So I don't want them to be too big on the page, so I might vary the size of the pockets. I said that in the last video and then I didn't, but we'll see. So I'm just going to just grab a piece of book page, a bit of my glue book, and just glue those bits down. It's just a small little preliminary step, is to turn these edges up. Still not straight. Get straight. Right, that one. And this one. Okay, and the third one. And then we'll have a look at see how big pockets need to be. I might also, I might do that after I've turned up the pockets. I might just trim these pages down a bit. They're just a little wide for me. I think they're, let's see, they're just over 5 inches wide, which I think is going to be quite tight on on some of the pages in a journal. So I'm going to just narrow these pockets down a bit. When I've folded them, then I'll trim them both sides. Let's put that back on. So I'm just going to fold. So I'm going to have some deeper. So that's a slightly deeper pocket. I think they're a bit deeper possibly than the ones that Rachel made. But I think I'm going to try and do different depths. So that one's not quite as deep. And then I want another deepish one, I think. Oh, it's plain. Plain on the back. Could have had that as a bit of writing paper, but never mind. That one about there. Okay. And then I'm just going to trim them a bit. So I'm going to take the rough edge off this side, just trim it up to the edge of the script, and I'm going to trim this one a bit as well. Not as much perhaps, but just make them a bit more of a manageable size. And then this one, I don't know if Rachel trimmed hers down at all, but the idea is that we take her video as inspiration and then make them our own way, really, in our own style. I think that's the idea. It's what I'm trying to do. Obviously, her video is very much a guide. And oops, and just get that in there. Oops, there we go, go right in. Okay, don't need that anymore. Get rid of all these bits. Right, and then we just need to glue down the sides of the pocket. Look at that bit, I don't need that. Okay, do this one. I can get the glue to come out. Just going to pin. Squeeze it out the sides a bit. Okay, there's one. This is my biggest pocket, I think. Okay, give a good old squish. And the last one. Right, let's just wipe this really quick. Wipe. I've missed the page and got it on the mat. Although I've got so many marks on this mat, I don't know why I even worry about it. But I try to keep it clean, but it's really hard to do. There's my little topper. There it is. Okay. So now we have to put some flowers on these little pockets. So the idea is we have a flower going up the side, which is a bit reinforced, so that it just just gives a decorative top to the pocket. I'm thinking it looks really nice anyway. I've just roughly cut round a whole bunch of flowers. These are actually one of Rachel's kits. All of my flowers are packed in a box somewhere. The ones I'd already fussy cut and ready to go. Couldn't find them. I had to look round, see I couldn't find which box they're in. So I just quickly printed a page of these are Rachel's. I think it's her Fussy Cut Flowers Kit 2. So I printed those off because and they're printed onto 160 GSM, I think. So they're reasonably sturdy, but I'm going to back them one more time with some of this book page just to make sure they're quite strong, because they're going to be things are going to be going in and out the pocket behind them, so they need to be quite sturdy. So I'm just going to try and choose a nice flower to go on the side. That's a nice one. So sorry, that's my phone. Well, that's a nice one as well. Maybe I'll do that one like that. Okay, let's do that one. I'm just going to do them one at a time. Otherwise I might never get anything finished. Right, let's just glue this on. And then I've got to fussy cut it out. I mean, I would have done this bit off camera beforehand and as part of the preparation, but it was part of Rachel's video, so I'm assuming that fussy cutting the flowers is kind of part of the challenge. I don't know. I felt it would be cheating somewhat to do this part in advance. So, I mean, I did cut round them roughly ahead of time, but I thought I'd better do this bit on camera. And it shouldn't take very long, because we're not going to be doing it. It's more of a kiss cut exercise, really. And what's nice about her flower kits, her fussy cutting flower kits, is she puts them on a background. So it doesn't really matter if you don't go right up to the edge of the flowers, because you've got a bit of a nice background anyway. So that works quite well. I think that's deliberate so that you don't have to spend hours and hours doing little fine bits of cutting. I have to stop myself from trying to get into all the little spaces, because that's not the idea. And these scissors are really good. I mean, they appear to be quite a big scissor to be using for fussy cutting, but because of the way the handles work, they're actually very, very good for fussy cutting, because they've got quite a small blade, so you can get into quite small places, and it's very easy to control the blade. I think you can get these scissors. I've got several pairs. You can get them on Amazon, I believe. They're called Easy Grip scissors, if anybody's interested. Don't know how much they are, but I don't think they're hugely expensive, but they're really good. So I've got a couple of pairs. I think I've got a third pair somewhere, but they seem to have disappeared, as many things have in the course of our move. They will turn up, I'm sure. Let's see if this works. Let's see how it looks. So that will go there like that. Yep, okay, that's really pretty. I might just leave it there for now, because we've got to do a little bit of decorating in the background as well. So it might be better to decorate the background of the paper before adding the flower. So let's just do the next one. Choose a flower for the next one. And that one's fine because it's plain, so it won't need a lot on. But these two, because the script is upside down, I will probably want to cover most of that up. Right. I would really want to do a blue one. So I think I'm going to choose this one. Another piece of this wonderful paper. I'm going to be sad when this book is finished, because the paper is really quite good. It's quite strong. It's probably not that old, but it's quite a nice cream colour as well. It's not too white. Right. Let's just... So I don't have any more news to tell you, because I only made the last video yesterday. So nothing much has happened since. But we are, when I say we, Richard is putting up the new blinds at the moment. So he's got one up on the other side of the craft room. So when I've done this video, he might want to come in and do the other one this afternoon. I don't know. We might have had enough of putting up blinds, because they're never easy. But hopefully having put the first one up, it'll make it easier to do the second one. I'm hoping this isn't going to be too flimsy because there's quite a lot of, I think I'll go leave a fair bit of paper background around the tops of these flowers because they might be a bit floppy if I cut them too around all the little leafy bits and the buddy bits, the bits of bud at the top. If I cut too close to them, it's going to be a bit too floppy, especially at the top, and more likely to get damaged. So I hope this one will work out okay, because you don't get many blue ones, and I do really want to do some blue things. Kind of half thinking I might do a blue journal at some point. But not that I've got any digitals particularly suitable for that, but it's just an idea I thought would be quite nice to do. I haven't done a journal, a coloured journal, since the very, very first one that I made in the very early days before I was making videos. I made a purple one. It was kind of my prototype that I use. I think I did a flip through when I very first came on camera to do these. Right, let's see if that's going to work. I think that would be quite nice. And if I can maybe put that there, I think we're going to work with that. So that's going to be that one. And a bit of paper. Next pocket. Right. What else have we got? Got this purpley pinky one. This one, which is rather nice. It's quite a big one. Probably should have put the big one on the big pocket, shouldn't I? But never mind. I do really like that. I'm going to use that one, I think. I feel like I want to use them all. I've got quite a few just cut around. Now I need to glue this on here. Well, I don't have to put this one on this pocket, do I? I could swap it over. That's a good idea. Let's have it on the smaller pocket. On there. And then I can put the big one on the big pocket. Yeah, because I didn't glue it down, so I don't know why I was worried about not putting the big one on the bigger pocket. I could easily swap it. Okay. Right. This is a nice one. Again, it's got a nice neutral background, so I don't have to get too close. The only flowers I could find were ones I cut out of books, and the paper is just so thin. I'd have had to put it on quite thick cardstock to make it work, and that would have been quite difficult to cut around, I think. So I thought I'd do it with these, and Rachel's flower fussy cuts are really good, but I haven't used them an awful lot before because they're quite large. So sometimes they seem too big for some of the things I want to put flowers on. So this is a perfect project for them. So let me know if any of you are having a go at the Roxy's Weekly Challenge. I haven't seen a lot of people doing it yet, but I haven't looked that hard, I must admit. But I think it's one of those things that you kind of have to get your head into, I suppose, and try and keep up, because otherwise you get really easily left behind. And I haven't done any other challenges, but I do really like this one. Now, what have I done with my pocket? Right there, of course. Silly woman. Okay, so that will go that side or that side. Let's see, I've done one on each. I think it needs to be that side. Right, okay, let's start with this one then. I'm going to just ink around it a little, just because it's got, although it's got the background, it's kind of quite light. It's not white, but it's fairly pale. So I'm just going to ink it a little bit, just to knock it back a fraction. And it just gives it that little bit of definition. There we go. Okay. So I don't want to glue these on quite yet because they're still quite wet. And I do want to try and put something to cover up this this bit of script here because it's upside down. No, not that piece. Just, I've got a few bits of paper here. They are a few scraps. It's amazing how many. I still managed to find a few scraps, and some I've been making as I've been going along on the other project. I wonder about this. This is a bit of lacy digital that I've made myself. Yeah, I might do that. So just get my little old ruler out again. Which side do I want? Slightly different one to the one I used before anyway. So I'm just going to tear that down. And tear that. How does that look? Yep. And then I might put a little extra something, little label or some little, or a butterfly or something like that on there. So let's do that. Put that on there. It's upside down. Okay, just a little bit of, I don't know how well you can see that. If I hold it up, it's just some lace that I just scanned. I made into digitals, you know, just into a little scanned thing which I've printed off, so you can just see it's a little bit lacy there. And then that will go there, like that. Okay, what can I put here? The other thing I brought in, which I haven't used before, is my box from LA Hay Treasures, Laurie. Her box of goodies, which I did an unboxing of a while ago. And I've not used them, but I would like to, because I also have another box now. And some of her yummy things. Well, this is like a little double pocket, all stuffed full of labels and pretty bits. Be nice to use, too big. Maybe up there. And yeah, that looks nice up there. See if I can find a little something to go down the bottom. What have I got? What's in here? Oh no, not that. And I think there's some labels and things in here. There seem to be a lot of, obviously, stamped labels, I think. No, not quite what I want. I know I've got an idea. I think I need to get another one of my little ephemera booklets out, which I haven't brought in. I'll be right back. Right, I just paused the camera for a moment just while I went and found what I was looking for, which is one of these this little ephemera booklet, because I thought it might be nice to have one of this little stamped label. I have got some labels stamped, I think, on some rice paper. Here we are. I wondered if one of these might look pretty down here. Is it big enough? I've got another one here. Slightly bigger one. Maybe that would be nice. And maybe a word. What's this? Beauty in everything. That's a nice one. Nice phrase. Maybe that should go up here. Okay, so maybe that just pops under there a little bit. I rather like that. Ooh. It's probably the first time I've used one of these little labels that I did on the rice paper. But that I think goes quite nicely on there. And then I've got this piece up here. I think I might like something behind it. I've got this piece of Florentine paper. I'm just wondering whether to pop a little bit of that behind. It might be too close in colour. Well, we'll see. Like that. Like that. And then beauty and everything up there. Yeah, actually, quite like it. Why not? We have to just make these decisions on, instantly, really, which I'm not very good at, but I'm going to try and be better, certainly when I'm doing this challenge. Just grabbing things and just going for it. I like that. I love this. I love the Florentine paper. I'm going to be sad when it's gone. I've still quite a bit left because I'm being very mean with it. And yeah, I don't really like using it if I can help it. Well, I do like using it because it's lovely, but at the same time it makes my little stash diminish. But that's what it's for, isn't it? It's got to be used. It's silly to just hang on to stuff. Right. I'm going to pop this on here. So I think it's the first thing I've used for my LA Haze little mystery box, which is exciting to get started on using these things. And no, not that one. That might come up for another one. I've got beauty and everything, which I want to put on. And I want to put a little something in the middle. Now, what did I bring in? I've got a little box of stamped birds. I've got a little bird stamp. I'll see if I've got one that would look nice in there. But this little pink one, that's a bit pale. Bit wishy-washy. What about this one? Yeah, that one would be nice. Right, so let's glue down. So the words I think are from Pink Monarch Prints. Goes across there. And then a little bird which way round I want him to go. That way? Are you flying off the page or flying into the page? I think he might be flying up that way. Right. It's a bit heavy with the glue. Spread it out a little bit. Right. And just overlap him a fraction onto that little label there. Yeah. Happy with that. So let's just pop this on now. I want to mark where I've got to glue up to. Where's my pencil gone? It's always the way, isn't it? I've got a pot full of bits and pieces. I can't find my pencil. Just have to use a pen. Up to about there. Actually, I think I want to use this glue. And it's got a little bit up the side as well, hasn't it? Okay, let's try that. If I've taken it too far up the side, I may have done. Maybe not quite so far over there. Let's take that glue off a little bit, because we want to make it the pocket accessible, don't we? Okay. So let's just grab one of the ticket things that I've got from Laurie and see if that will go in. Yeah, so I can get things in there. Good. Okay, so that's one done. Do you know what else I'm going to do? If you watch my channel for any length of time, you might have guessed. Yep, I'm going around the corners. I do like a rounded corner, and that didn't do a very good job. Let's give it another try. It's better. It's because it's a bit thin, I think. That might be the case, or it might have been a bit wet. Yep, that's all good. Okay. One done. Whoops, hasn't come off. I told you we wouldn't get many done. But we'll have another go, do another one. I really like that. Okay. Let's clear the decks a little bit. Let's see what we can do with this one. Right. So, blue. I want a bit of blue, so I'm going to get some blue Florentine paper, because I have many blues. There are quite a few blue pieces here. It's a case of which do I choose? It's a little dark. That's pretty. That's a possibility. Gosh, there's so many. Okay, what about this one? This is pretty. Yeah, I like that, I think. It's quite a delicate one. So I've still got quite a nice collection of papers still. And there's this bit of, what do you call it? What she calls that? remember the name of it. That paper that she uses a lot. She popped some of that in the pack as well, which is lovely. So I'm hoarding it because I haven't got much, so I don't use it very often. Right, I am going to, I think I might just do it across the whole thing. Yeah, I think I will. God, it's so pretty and delicate and gorgeous. I'm just going to put it across the whole of the pocket. Oops. There we go. I've got it straight. I'm not good at this at all. Getting just aligning this ruler up straight is a challenge in itself. Okay, maybe I've got it right. I don't know. And I'll just tear this little piece off, but I'm not throwing that away. No piece is wasted. Okay, so that's going to go on there. Yeah. I'm covering the whole pocket because it's quite hasn't got a lot of coverage with the flower. It just felt like it needed that bit in the background. I missed a bit at the edge. Oh, I missed the edge. Yeah. Soon remedied. So that's going to go here. Now I need to decide what to put up the top. Let's have a think. Or let's have a little look at what I've got. Bits of paper that I've pulled out. Get hold of them. Get myself in a mess as usual. Really need to clear as I go. Try and keep a clear space around me to work in. So I've got some bits of Roxy Creations digitals. I think that might be quite nice up the top there. Yep, okay. Just tear this down a little bit, get rid of the edge. Give it a little bit more of get a little bit of a torn edge as well, just around the edges, around the side and the bottom. Right, how does that look? It looks quite pretty. Let's have a look. So I mentioned in my last video that I'd got one of these books ready to fill with the Shabby Dabby Doodah labels and ephemera. Well, yesterday afternoon I spent probably the whole afternoon doing the pockets and filling it. And this is one kit. All of these are one kit. And I have a feeling I've still got some more to cut out. I mean, it's gigantic. So there's loads of labels. It's a lot of labels, but there's also other pieces as well. I've left myself one or two little gaps just to see if, because I have a feeling there's more to cut out. Right, let's just try putting something on there. Yeah, quite like that. Why not? Why not? So let's do that. Let's glue that on. Let's get rid of this page. It's absolutely covered in glue. And glue it on. Oops, pull that one out. If I remember, I'll try and link my video where I made one of these booklets. If anybody's interested, it's a really good way to use up your scrapbook paper, because they're basically you use a 6x6 paper. It's nice if it's double-sided. It's better. Well, I like it if it's double-sided. It makes it more interesting, but it doesn't have to be. And I just use. I've been using some scraps of scrapbook paper that I've cut down and used, and I've just been going through all my old scraps and using those to make the booklets. Every time I need a new one, I just get out my scraps, my scrapbook paper scraps, and sometimes not even the scraps, just some bigger pieces sometimes. So yeah, this one I decided to theme it. It's all blues and greens, this one. I don't usually bother with that, but they are quite easy to do, and it's really, I love having them, just these little books that are just easy to flick through and pick bits out that you want, and you can see everything. I find they work really well for me, and every time I've got a new kit or more labels I need to put in, I'll just make another one. Easy peasy. Right, I'm just going to glue this on now. Make sure I mark where it needs to be glued. Not too near the bottom. Okay, about there. Be fine. Mark that and that side. And then we'll just do a little bit up the side as well. Now it's dry, it's quite nice and firm. But I do prefer to start off with something a little thicker than copy paper, personally, for this, for anything like this. For really, whenever I'm doing ephemera, flowers and things, I like them to be just a little bit. Oh, I've glued the wrong. Oh no, that is right. It's going to go on that side, isn't it? Yes, I have put the glue on the right side. I just was going to stick it on the wrong side. Right, just glue it there. There we are. And you can tuck things. And the idea is that there can be loaded pockets. I don't know if I need glue there actually. I might just get rid of that bit. Just glue it at the side there, but not on there. I keep putting too much glue on, don't I? Okay. Do we want a little something down here? Let's see, what did I use just now? I had some words, didn't I? What did I do with my words? It was, yeah, it was in this one, wasn't it? Oh, I've still got some space at the back of this one. Didn't even realise. Let's pick out about, is it one? That is one. Kindness. Doesn't really show up, does it? Well, there's this one. Favourite of Gail's, as we know. And there's nothing wrong with that. If I've got anything more bluish, doesn't really matter, does it? I might pop that there. Tribute to Gail. Kind. And it's not a bad way to be at all. I think my inking is a bit sort of random because I didn't ink anything else, did I? But it just felt like it needed something to make it show up a little bit more against the background. Okay. Let's pop that there because I think it looks good there. Okay, and the last thing, of course, is to do my corner. Now, am I going to get a chance to do the last one? Let's see if we can give it a go. Oh, that's no good. That didn't go very well. Let's have another go at that. It's better. Okay. So that's that one. Yeah, I'm liking that. And let's just see if we can do the other one really super quick. Losing them. Just put it over there. Put it on there. Okay. Right, I had another thought. Something I've been... I made all these snippet rolls a while ago. And I wonder whether I could pop a bit of snippet roll on there. I think I could. But which bit do I want? Because that's got the pink in it, hasn't it? Which would bring out the pink of the flower. Let's have a look at the rest of it, see if there's any other bit. No. I've got another one here. Need to start using some of these things. I think I did this with my scraps. I like that bit with a little bird. Okay, there's my scissors. These are my other ones, similar to the first pair, but look at the size of the blade on these. They're a bit more, they mean business a little bit more, don't they? I'll cut it there. I'm going to try and cut through there. And then I've got a little piece for another project. Might just pop that there. See how that looks. I don't know. Not sure I like it now I've done it. Let's see what else I've got. Looked a little bit too much. Maybe I'll go back to the original one. I think I like that better. Looks a little bare in the background, doesn't it? So that's going to go there. That'll go there. And something at the top. What have I got over here? Veered off, didn't I? Never mind. Oops. Okay. How about quite colourful. Might be a bit too much actually. I'll take that down a bit. Yeah. Put that there, I think. It's a very colourful page, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, nowhere near the 40 minutes that Rachel set herself, but that was never going to happen, was it really? But if I can do it around 50, maybe that will. I don't even know if I'm anywhere near that. Kind of lost track of time. Having too much fun. Right. Still not sure whether that needs a little something behind it. I feel like it does. I'm going to trim that a little bit. It's got a bit wet. It's a bit discoloured. What can I put behind there? Okay. Come on, Laurie, see if you can give me something to put behind. About something like that. Just to tone this down a little bit. Actually, I think that might be all right. Like that. Yeah, I might do that. Right. Okay, that's going behind here. That edge. And then this one going underneath. There we are. Finally get to use a piece of my snippet roll. That's good. It's good to use things that you haven't used for a while. And then I'm just going to mark where this needs to be glued to. Mark it there, and there. I'm not going to put any glue up the side this time. I seem to have to keep taking it off. Every time I actually put it on, it doesn't really help matters much. Okay, let's pop that there. See how that looks. Okay. And anything else? No. Double little word. Can't quite let it go until I've put something here. Yeah, that's going to be it. Random picking of things. And there we go. Little stamped label. I think it was probably from one of Rachel's other challenges. I suspect I did that in the Roxy's Weekly Challenge before, I'm not sure. So there we are. Just the corners to go round and then we're done. Okay. So there we are. 3 pockets with the raised flowers on the front. And I'll look at the actual proper description when I upload it. So there you go. Roxy's Weekly Challenge, week 2, done. And I think I'm caught up because week 3 hasn't quite happened yet. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and do join me again soon. Bye for now.